Pushing buttons. Okay. Welcome back to the. Have I already been on 11 seconds and didn't even know it? Welcome
I
back to the
don't think
Quantum
so.
Show Quantum Panel. My clock up here says whatever. Welcome back. Pushing buttons. Yes, pushing buttons. Shadow, you got the key to the back door, so you come in whenever you're ready. I saw your show started a while ago. I don't know if it's still going on, but welcome back to the Quantum Panel, everybody. I had a pretty good first hour. Lynn Ann, welcome back to the Quantum Panel.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Did you catch some or part of the first hour?
I got a phone call and I just didn't hear it in its
Okay.
entirety, but I was watching the chat and what comments were, and uh, I know that. Oh man, that echo.
Is it
I mean,
back?
it. Yeah, it's really nasty.
Let me check mine.
Hmm.
I got echo cancellation on, and that's all I got. And volume. Let me check yours again. Echo
Let's
cancellation,
see
your
how that
volume.
goes.
Yeah, echo cancellation, your
Yeah,
volume
I
is
think we're.
down.
No, I still hear me back there, Darren.
You're still coming through loud. Let me see. Let me do this. How about
I
now?
got a terrific echo going on in here, and that microphone wouldn't act right.
I'm going to replug my own.
Let's see if that works. That's even worse.
Okay, I am now replugged. Do
Okay.
I echo?
No, and I'm not either. Got it. Thank you, Frank.
All right. Good job, Frank. You tell that
Yeah,
computer
he's.
network who's boss.
I'll tell you what. If he does, if the network won't do it, if he wants it to, he'll take a very large axe to its motherboard.
Yep.
And
Okay.
he's not
Sa-
playing.
sound is sorted. Okay, so you caught
Yeah.
some of the
I
first
caught
hour, right?
some of the first hour, about 20 minutes worth. Um, of course, you haven't gotten all of the parts that you needed to get for your experiment yet.
Not yet.
I had Joe Lawrenson explain to me exactly what it was you're trying to accomplish, and I won't say much about that other than you tell them what you want them to know. you know, you know
hmm
how it works.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, it looks good. And I hope that you accomplish that because they've been looking for that for a while.
Yeah. And something that these people who are I was trying to get this across in the first hour. Something the people who are doing Mercury work are not doing is they're not looking at an actual picture of a Vimana that we know we have. I showed the pictures, right?
Right, I
And they're
saw
not
that.
right. They're not going along that as their blueprint. They're trying to literally reinvent the Vimana, and it's right there. Look at that. Follow that as a general guide. Determine what. That's what I'm doing. I'm determining what needs to be done at what time. Now, a Vimana is this shape, and I'm going this shape because that's what I got to work with, right?
Yeah, sure.
And I will get.
You'll get
Hmm,
more as you go along, and you pick up other parts and pieces that you need. In the
as I need.
meantime, you'll catch on to what it is you're after.
You're right. As things, like I said, I will continue as warranted. Like, do I need to tweak? Do I need to do anything? Right now, I'm just trying to establish rotation and the big magnetic field that it's going to create. And something else these people are doing who are working with Mercury, they're working with high voltage, high amperage. I don't need to do that. if you look at the state of science as we know it, robotics, you've heard of nanobots?
Of course.
Okay, nanobots. They are downscaled using fractional voltage, fractional amperage of a big robot, or even a Radio Shack toy robot. Those are like 3 to 12 to 18 volts. And you go 1 volt, what can 1 volt do? How about
Right.
a tenth of a volt? How about a
You
tenth of an amp? A
keep
hundredth of an amp?
keep it to something you can manage yourself there at home.
Right. Something without the need for special equipment.
Something that doesn't bring sirens to the house.
Yes,
You know.
right. I'm keeping it arts and crafts for a little while.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
And I actually, what I didn't get to was the Vimanas are made from stone. I get to make things from stone too. There are plenty of people who work with stone. Not me,
I
but plenty
hadn't
of
thought
people.
about that, but yeah, that makes sense. That makes
No, I'm
sense
not trying to.
to work it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, yeah. I'm not trying to fly a building. I'm trying to fly a box.
Yeah,
So,
you're building
uh,
a drone to start with.
yeah, and
Hmm.
that well, as warranted. I don't know what that drone's going to do, right?
Right.
So if I end up with a box like this that will power a car, that's what I'm sticking with. I'm not trying to fly a building. I'm trying to fly a motorcycle.
Ah, Joe says here in chat, I want to commend you on the mercury work. While we don't have the proper element to actually lift a body like the Germans did, that doesn't say there is not a commercial application.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you for the commendation. I appreciate it. I'm moving forward on this. And the commercial application, I am literally not looking at current science. I'm looking at ancient examples of how they interpreted things. And I'm looking at Vimanas. So the people in the corporate and commercial world, they can look at the same things I'm looking at because I am not doing anything that hasn't been done. I'm just doing it again.
Yeah, but you're
And
not pressured, and they are.
yeah,
And that's
true.
the difference. That's the more likelihood of you falling into it than them, because they're hard working at it, and you're not.
mm, and they
I
have a
shouldn't say
lot
you're
more.
not. I mean, you work very hard at what you do, but the uh, the pressure from a wage earner is not the same.
Right, right. I don't have a lot of the restrictions that they have to deal with.
Mm.
And
You have some big old know-it-all prancing through
mhm,
your laboratory saying, "Now let's get with it, boys," who doesn't have any sort of science degree or anything else.
yeah. And if John Teeter can do cool stuff, I can do cool stuff.
That's right.
So there's
Yeah.
that. And I'm using literally arts and crafts materials to do it, first off, right?
I've said and I believe that if somebody can make this work, it's you. You know,
Thank you.
our audience really doesn't know who you are. I do.
Right. These people, the people in the audience, quantum show people, attendees, I have known Lynn for 20 plus years. She has
Yeah,
known me for
yeah,
20 plus years.
yeah.
And
Pretty close.
they have seen my work up close, right? And not electronics work. Well, maybe. I don't remember. It's been 20 years. I don't remember.
I don't think it is. I think it's closer to 14.
Mm,
Since 2010 that I moved to El Paso, and it's
okay.
2023. So that's what, 13, 14 years. About
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So
Close
14
enough.
years.
We'll fudge a little
Still.
bit. We're
Yeah,
good
it's
at
not like we
fudging.
ran into each other in a chat room.
No, no, we've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
You and Frank have had a number of good technical conversations. they let us both see just how smart you really are.
Well,
And
thank you.
well, I didn't say that to compliment you. I'm telling you the straight of it. I think a lot of YouTube influencers don't know, pardon the fresh expression, shit from Shinola.
Hmm.
And I know you do. I know Joe Lawrenson does.
Yeah, Joe
So
helped me learn this stuff.
yeah,
He got me
he's a
looking.
brilliant man in his own right.
Hmm. Yeah, what is Shadow saying over there?
I don't know,
Quantum will
probably.
find a way.
He's absolutely right. Where you at, man? I'm missing you. So,
He'll he's got the back door key. So okay, but yeah, that's what I was going over, and I showed all the materials that I'm working with, and the things that I've got to make, and the things that I've got to come up with,
yeah.
and I'm not there yet, but that's okay. It's a lot of thought process.
Well, the
This has
thing is,
not been done in literally 4,000 years. I'm not going to whip this up in the kitchen in 20 minutes,
no.
so
I,
it's
if you did, I'd wonder what was going on, but I wish
mhm,
you'd have a conversation with Frank about it. Because
that's a good idea.
he remembers this experiment from a certain time frame.
Okay. I
He
would
has
like to
an
get some
idea. He has a
pointers.
few ideas, and he's man. It's one of those guys that can go from literary history or literary English to science to chemistry, just all over everything.
It
He can
jives.
do that. An IT, I mean, shoot, you know,
And yeah, it jives. All the stuff is related.
everything he
And
does is, yeah, yeah. And I'm sort of a rah rah team for Frank, but I'm sort of biased that way, I guess. I'm a little biased that way, yes.
little biased. Okay, well, that is where I am on the Mercury experimented desktop model. This stuff is more complicated than I thought. It's getting really complicated really fast.
Yeah.
I'm keeping up with it, but
No.
it's parts, getting
Yeah,
ports.
I'm going to go to hell. I know it, but I need to tell you something about holy water.
Yes,
You know how to make holy water?
I do.
You boil the hell out of it.
That's
I'm so ashamed. I couldn't stop myself though. This is the same person that 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 I am probably the most sacrilegious priestess she'll ever made. But I think the gods and goddesses just laugh with me and say, "No, she can go to hell." What's that? How does that go? Heaven doesn't want me, and hell still has that restraining order against me.
Haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one. That's a good one though. And Joe is in the chat room. He's saying, still, a motor that is more efficient than a brushless motor should have an application in this world of electric cars. The
I
motor is
think
not the
so.
problem. The motor is not the problem. The problem is powering it. They're
Right.
using these lithium batteries when we should be doing something else.
Well,
I had my idea.
they
Hmm?
finally figured out what causes lithium batteries to explode. Now I don't know what that was,
Oh, I know.
but
I know.
they did
It's a
figure it out.
yeah. They figured it out, and there's nothing they can do to stop it because that's the way lithium is. And there are
Hmm.
safeguards, but it's going to add thousands more dollars to the price of the cars in manufacturing.
And they're
And
going to
it's
keep doing that, and they're going to find themselves with a whole bunch of cars they can't sell.
yeah.
They're
Oh
finding that
man.
already.
Yeah. When you take any phone that has those lithium batteries in it, right? And you put it in an environment that is not prepared to be in, it's gonna catch on fire. That's lithium.
Gonna go boom. Yeah.
I got somebody coming in.
Yeah, there's Shadow.
Hey, howdy,
Shadow.
folks. How you guys doing?
All right. You disappeared on us last week. I hope everything was all
Yeah,
right.
since my other device's battery is crap. Let me get that.
Let me get that. There's two of you. There was a me for a little bit too.
I am in your sound settings right now. I turned your mic down and
Okay.
echo cancellation on. Give sound check.
How's that?
That's
Better.
good.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Yeah, got a clear picture. The whole works.
Yep.
Yep.
And my glasses, as usual, are looking like I have mirrors on.
It's all good.
Well, I
Okay.
wish I didn't have them, but contact lenses are out.
Yeah. But I don't like the
Can't use
just
them.
feeling the idea of them is like
You know, I had them for about 3 years, hard lenses as a teen, and I had a soda bottle. Most of you don't remember glass bottles. I do. And
Yep.
the soda bottle fell into the kitchen sink and exploded in my face, which is why I have the eye problems I'm having now. But after that, contact lenses weren't happening for me. Couldn't use them at all. Too many things had to be pulled out of my eyes. So yeah, don't even like thinking about it.
Nope. I can barely make it. I can barely. Ah, shit. Echo's back.
I don't hear an echo.
Yes. Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. I can barely make it through Fire in the Sky thanks to the eye scene.
Oh man.
Oh God. I remember that.
The scariest movie I've ever seen.
What is it called?
Fire in the Sky.
In the Sky with God, I can't remember his name now.
Travis Walt.
D.B. Sweeney, the actor. But yeah, Travis Walt.
Well, I was congratulating myself this week on discovering the Thriller series from the 1960s. And, well, science fiction is wonderful, and I like it, but a thriller really makes you think. You know, who did it, so to speak. And Boris Karloff isn't a bad choice either. But it's a very interesting. It's like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and it's good. It's good entertainment. You know, it's you have to really think through some of them. Some stories are horrible, but good many of them are not bad stories at all. No, I'm hearing me again.
Something in your audio just changed. You went from softer to really loud or
I
louder.
didn't change anything. Nothing.
It must be the
Hi,
network.
Edgar. Say, speaking
Okay.
of our
Well,
chat,
I
we
haven't.
want to thank everybody for being in there and tell them hello, and we're happy to have you with us.
Yes, welcome back, and thank you everyone for coming back to the Quantum Show, Quantum Panel. What do we got? Okay, I'm looking at my.
I'm gonna need their address. My lawyers can talk to those guys.
Shadow and Sun Tire Shop. How about that? I'll bet they're great.
Are they role playing putting tires on?
Oh,
Do they
gee.
do it in costume?
Funny you mention that's going to be my next topic on Raven's show over on 1-2 Radio.
Oh, cool. Speaking of
Which
dice, let me show you guys this. Let me see if I can get it to go in. There we are. Six-sided dice, right? It's uh pink quartz. My honey bunny gave it to
cool.
me.
A
So I thought
pink quartz
that's
dice.
yeah. I thought
I'll
that was
see you. I'll
fabulous.
see you quartz, and I'll raise you an LED.
All right, that's cool.
Got the whole set.
Pink quartz is love, and that's just Flash. That I like it. I like Flash. I like Flash a lot.
I got the little guy set it for his birthday, and
You're
it
gonna have
echoes
to
back.
stop calling that kiddo a little guy. He's not a
I
little
know,
guy
right?
anymore. He's an adult person.
Yeah, and he's getting bigger every minute.
You better watch it. He'll get bigger than you, especially hanging out in the army. Or is it Marines? Which one's he going to?
It's Air Force. It's Air Force.
Okay. He'll get bigger.
And right now he's in Mexico.
Is he going to go into the Air Force? Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Absolutely. He's bucking for a scholarship to college, and then that way he can go in as an officer. But if that doesn't work out, we'll see what we can do to get him into a good college and go from there. But with his grades and his work history and his promotion history, they give out 1,100 scholarships every year.
That's a pretty decent chance.
Yeah, he kind of does.
I know you are proud of him.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, he's an amazing kid. He was actually on my show streaming from Mexico, which was a nice surprise. It's been hard to communicate with him the last week plus because of technology and the internet and all that. But he's having fun. He'll be home in a couple of days.
That's good.
Cool. Well, whatever he does in the Air Force, tell him to get something that requires top secret, because that will open the door for a lot of stuff. I can vouch for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lots and lots of stuff.
And then he could funnel info back to me. Speaking about funneling info back, I told you I met a gentleman last week who's going to be on my show, whose father, I believe it was his father, worked on Project Blue Book. And if you guys don't mind, we're going to bring him over to this show and get to talk to him about it. He's up there in his 70s, so he's been around the block a time or two. And it just so happens he's a gamer like myself, but from back in the earliest of days of that. But at the same time, he also was Air Force, as was his father and grandfather, and has all kinds of cool stories to tell us. So hopefully in the next week or two or three, we'll get him on the show and we can just barrage him with, Project Blue Book questions. Because I remember watching that show as a little kid, and it was right around the Travis Walton thing when that was, kind of a big deal on the news. And I didn't miss a single episode of it. And, I got to know. What's going on, right, guys?
I'll tell you what, I really would
Heck
enjoy
yeah.
that. And I had considered talking to you about snagging a person here and there just to come on and keep things fresh. That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Getting somebody who worked on an actual thing would be awesome. And he's a gamer.
Yes.
I am a game, not as avid as you are, Shadow, but I'm a gamer still.
Right. And
So there's some common ground there.
right, and nobody else is you're not saying nobody else knows who he is, but they're not when they come to him, they're not coming to him about that. And this, not saying he's a whistleblower or anything, hyperbolic like that, but he's got some stories to tell, and he's willing to come
He
on the
is
show and
really
talk.
echoing a lot, Nathan.
Yeah, I don't know what I can do, guys. Let me check my
Let
settings
me look at,
again.
well,
Is
yeah,
there
you go ahead and
two
check your settings.
things open? Is there a channel open?
No, I've got nothing. I'm literally here by myself, and every device is off or not in the building.
Lunar, I
Everything's
would like
plugged
to
in
hear
tight.
more of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I would like to hear more of that. If you are up to talking about it, we can talk
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because,
there's plenty of folks out there that are just beginning to feel safe enough to talk about it, not fear that people will point and laugh. You know, certainly not here, but and even 10 years ago, point and laugh was pretty much the way people behaved towards anyone who saw an extraterrestrial or any of that.
hmm
So
Yeah,
that's
we've
something
come a
that
long way.
That's something that Lou and all this disclosure stuff has since 2017, the limits on the tic tac and the go fast, all that stuff. That's something it has done. That's something it has accomplished. It's allowed people to come without fear of uh, uh, being
losing
marked
jobs or spouses or
right.
family, because
They don't have to
And
worry
that was
about that stuff.
happening. Yeah,
and
that was
and, and
happening.
Tucker Carlson's been or was doing UFO segments the previous year. Did a bunch of them. Heck, even Donald Trump. I constantly refer to that when he said what he said. He might as well have just told us that it's all real.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't you can't not talk about something if it doesn't exist. You can just say whatever you
Right,
want. If
right.
you can't talk
If
about
it's
it, there's something there.
to talk about,
How's it going,
there's
Cindy?
something to
Welcome to
talk
the
about.
show.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cindy. And yeah, I went. Joe is up there saying, now this is public record because it's on YouTube, right? That his military records have been redacted.
Right. He's really,
Yeah,
really upset with it.
and that's that goes along with it. I mean,
There's honors.
mine have
There's
not been.
honors that. There's honors that are not matter of public record now, which is BS
Right.
because the man is a hero.
Now, what that means, everybody listening, what that means is if he is entitled to any kind of disability or anything like that later on with those records sealed, he is not eligible for that because they are not
Mhm.
able to be looked at and verified. That's a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen to a lot of people, but it happens to enough for it to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, American heroes do not need to be hidden. Okay.
No.
Not only
No.
that, but
Don't send them on something that shouldn't be done in the first place that you have to hide.
hmm
anyone who's gone and written that blank check on their life and served this great country of ours, only to get smacked in the face for having done so, especially in one's later years when they quite possibly could use the help. Things happen, and sometimes you know planning on being able to use what you've earned in those benefits is is just deplorable that they would
It's
try
a simple
to.
it's a simple matter of being able to go to a doctor when you need to and not 6 months down the damn road.
Right.
And yes, I
Right.
feel very
Right.
strongly about this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm showing that particular comment because it came in right at 11:11. So it's quantum.
Bravo.
And not that, I mean, yeah. Samo, he's mod on the channel. Great job, Samo. I love the way you promote us, and Rich and Amy. And your enthusiasm is always there. I appreciate it. But
Very
yeah,
cool.
luckily, my records are not redacted. I was
Thank
top
God for
secret, but I
that.
wasn't. Let me tell y'all, top secret is not the tip top. Okay? Top secret
No,
is
it's
like
not.
operational security, right? It's not the tip top. Tip top is I think they called it majestic, but I'm not sure. That's one of them, but top
Yes.
secret is not what Joe was. Okay? I was top secret. He was something else.
Walk
And
on
I don't
base
know what
and
it
have
was.
everybody stand too, and you don't have a uniform on.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's top.
Yeah, I don't know what he was.
I don't
And
either, and I'm happy not knowing.
same.
My life is fine.
I'm already enough on the internet for them to listen to me to where I have to have a disclaimer saying, happy birthday to my sniper. Don't miss.
Yeah, here's a pizza. Give me another day. What do you say? Yeah.
Yeah, I have to
I do
wish
want to
my.
pay a lot more for pizza for another day.
About what I can afford.
But that's what's going on with the. That's the reason it's an issue. Everybody listening, with people who have their records redacted, that's why. Not because they did bad things. We all you're near in the military, you all do bad things. You are not in charge. You do
You
bad
do
things
what you're
because you're
told.
told to.
You do
That
exactly
that
But
what
that's
you're
part of
told
like
and
that.
hope to Christ you live through it.
and okay, what I went over right in the first hour was uh ufology, and I call it the controlled human Earth experience, and we are the subjects. Those people would like Joe were in on what was going on. Maybe not Joe, not this part, but the our leaders know what's going on. They already have a clue.
Some of
That's
them do.
why. Yeah, that's
Some
why. I
of them
mean,
don't have
Some of
enough
them have no
clearance.
clue.
some of
They
them
have no
have
Some of
no
them are
clue.
clue,
clueless.
and the elites, leaders of industry, they have a clue.
The elites
Okay,
know, but
yeah,
not
the elites know.
necessarily the government.
Bill Gates. Oh, I could go on, but it's not the Bill Gates show tonight. But he's one of them. Bigelow, he's another one, and there are others. The
Bezos,
Battelle, yeah, Bezos.
Gates.
Bezos knows. He runs Amazon freaking website. Now he's got a spaceship. How does that work, right? Um,
Apparently pretty well.
Well, they're all trying to
yeah,
figure out how to get off this rock before it
yeah.
implodes.
It's kind of like, why is everyone trying to escape Earth?
Well, I say, if you send one man to the moon like that, well, hey, send them all.
Edgar, Edgar, I'm not going there this show. Okay, I'm touching on it, but I'm not going there
No,
this show. Um,
no.
but what-
Let's
yeah,
don't make this about them. This is about
mm-mm.
us. This is about
Yeah,
what's
I
Thought
important
it was
in the
about
don't
world.
me.
need that to be up there. Um, thanks, man. um, but yeah, the ufology disclosure is being done, and we are getting disclosure. I do think so. I do think we're getting disclosure, but it's not like we thought it was going to be. This is guided, very Drip, drip. No, it's tactically put because they're going at it with fear, and in order to get money, they have to establish a threat. But it can
Right.
get out of hand. It can get way out of hand. Like they go with this supposed threat. Well, uh, the wrong person is going to get scared and push the wrong button. Not the button, but the wrong button to do something to make it that much harder for all of us. And the I call them the muggles. The muggles are being shepherded. They're trying to shepherd us, but they don't want us.
I'm
Okay?
not
They
that
don't
easily led.
no, they don't
You
want
know?
us. We are the rebels. We're the ones who undermine their game. We're the ones who slip them notes saying, "I know what you're up to. You're not going to it's not going to work because I have access or something," right?
I like that with Desic. You know, they need guillotine gravity. The gravity needs, yeah, a guillotine needs gravity to work. It's
right.
trickle down economics. Says, well,
And
it that
yeah,
works.
same here, Zach. I have had my own personal disclosure because disclosure is not going to be public. It's
No.
If you do rely on public disclosure, you're walking into a slaughterhouse, literally, figuratively. Okay, not literally, but figuratively. They're going to tell you what they want you to know in order to get you to act a certain way to manipulate you.
Hmm.
Do what I did. Learn to meditate. Get that certain mindset going. Cold call your own off-world aliens. They'll pick up most of the time.
Cold
Sometimes.
call the universe and start listening to some of the secrets that are available to you because they're available
Yeah,
to
I
you
mean,
anywhere.
they got
If I can
yeah,
do
we
it,
got
anybody
books.
can.
Literally, if I can do it, oh my
Hmm.
god. I
All of us can do it.
yeah,
Well, I
I'm
don't know. I
thinking
can think of some people who
You
can't do it.
know,
Sorry, I know some people who can't do well
oh, they
squat.
don't know they can do it yet. You got
oh
the
no,
people
they
who
can. It's just a matter of whether it's a decision, and it's not. It's the decision, not the ability. Every person put one hand here and the other hand here and
mhm
meditate. Every single
mhm
one of them.
and it doesn't matter if you've got uh background noise or constant distraction, none of that matters.
Screaming kids, a
Right, it
pile of
comes
dishes
from
to
here.
do. It's in the middle of you.
Mhm.
It's our connection to the universe. The more you make that connection, the easier it becomes. Whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether it's chanting. Sometimes chanting
Stuff,
does
stuff
it.
are.
Yeah,
Now it's my
sometimes
turn to echo. Not
chanting.
his.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, it go ahead.
That whole business of, and I think we have so mystified the very common things that we do. If you can go for 2 minutes and have a quiet space, whether you gotta go in the bathroom and lock the door, you've got 2 minutes there where you can meditate. Now I'm not saying that if you got one bathroom for 6 kids, you got maybe 2 minutes if you're lucky. But that 2 minutes can take you a world of places and give you some regroup and some ideas that you didn't have before. And I'm just talking about from your common housewife's point of view. Same thing if you're at work and things get to be a bit hectic and chaotic. A simple step back and regroup, do the job. It's little stuff like that that gets you on track for the larger stuff. And the larger stuff, of course, being the 10-minute meditation. And I have said, you got 10 minutes for meditation, you probably need an hour.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that 10 minutes isn't in a 15-minute city.
A 15-minute city?
Right.
I'm confused.
It's crossing topics there is what he's doing.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. But
All right.
somebody was, Joe said that science fiction, let me bring that back up. Science fiction is just, can be, it's coming up, is just generic memory. History and physics.
Genetic memory. Yeah.
Yeah, genetic memory, because I've said it before, and then I came back with Final Faction has a ton of references in it. And it does. And that's from the freaking Dollar Tree store. And they
Jackie
have.
spotted a few of them as well.
What did he spot?
Some of the geographical locations, the geopolitical changes scheduled for the next 20, 30 years, things like that.
Boy, is that bad.
Wait a minute. What? What?
If you go through the comic book.
Talk about genetic memory and science fiction and yeah, I've got the comic book, the Final Faction one.
Yeah, if you go through the comic book and you pay attention to where things are happening and how certain things have changed in the next couple of decades, you know, who's in charge of what countries, etc., you'll find some interesting changes.
That echoes back.
Okay, I will go back and look again. If you get a chance, go to Dollar Tree or Send Frank or get somebody to run by there. Go in the toy section. They have a comic book from Final Faction. Let me grab one and show you what it looks like.
Frank, are you listening? Yeah. Okay, he's listening to the program. I was pretty sure he was.
Okay, this is it, right? And it's in a plastic, plastic wrapper, and it's just hanging there with the toys. And it's not a huge comic book. It's not. It's also canceled because they don't know how to do books,
marketing,
or comics, or a franchise. Yeah, I've never heard of a commercial for these guys ever. And
I didn't know what they were.
There are a lot. It's a toy line, and they have a pretty good amount of toys. Now these are for sale at Dollar Tree. Shameless plug right there. And they have a storyline of aliens coming to Earth for resources. Mm-hmm. But I think that they were supposed to have a twist in there, because if you can come to Earth from an intergalactic space, you don't need what Earth has got. You've got everything you need already. And there's an abundance. So that's where that story breaks down. But there's a lot.
Sense, but then, you know, some of our base religions are built off of the need for gold. So the resources that they needed were not there in their own backyard, so to speak.
Right, in the basis for religions. Catholic. Gold temples. Good point.
Yeah.
And but there's a ton of references to science in there too. It is science fiction.
Okay.
However, there's one character, two characters, really. One is Shift. She wears red. Red Shift. That's science. That's some cool science. And she has an ability to perceive time differently. Red Shift. It's a property of light over time over distance. Is red shift. She's red. Her name is Shift. Red Shift. And the other character is, I can't. What is her name? I just picked one up the other, today. the girl in the gold bomber jacket, that is a clue to current technology, right? That we actually have. Has anyone ever seen a gold bomber jacket?
Yes.
Not outside of like solid gold dancers, right?
No, I have. I've seen them.
Well, okay, well, they're not actually from the
Usually
military.
on hookers, but hey, gotta find.
Glad
Right.
you said it, not
Well,
me.
um, my thing about the gold bomber jacket
You,
is,
you
you
know
know,
that thing that that keeps you from saying stuff you shouldn't. Yeah, I don't have one
No.
of those.
the
So
gold bomber jacket made me think okay, in the story, it's her, Amari is her name, Amari. In the show, in the comic, it's her father's bomber jacket. Well, she is an adult in 2050, so she would be being born now. We are starting to have camouflage that is adaptive,
right.
and uniform camouflage that is adaptive. So if that's her
Yeah.
father's bomber jacket from before, when she was a little girl, she'd be a little girl right now in
Mhm.
2023. And we have
Interesting.
adaptive camouflage. So why not have a gold bomber jacket? Tell it to be gold. It becomes gold. Tell it to become green, black, or red. It becomes those things. They are adaptive, programmable. That's the net. And I picked that up and I
I
went to a
got it.
live stream, you know? So
Yeah.
why, and people couldn't think, well, why is a bomber jacket gold? Why are camouflage adaptive? That's adaptive technology. Accidental Truth. I just watched that movie, Accidental Truth, on Amazon. How people in ufology are dropping little bits of stuff here and there in the wording of things. Lou
Right.
Elizondo hinted at whether they are coming from space, they are already here. And then they asked him, hey, who's this they you're referring to? He goes, oh, I can't talk about that. Accidental Truth, right?
Oh please. I
Yeah,
I
this,
just hate that. You
huh?
know, I just hate that. Somebody starts alluding to some, oh, I know something you don't know. It's like, run along, kid. You know, no, it's a stack, no stress, long rope, it's a cycle. Sympathetic beats,
I don't know what he's referring to, but that's okay.
okay.
Well, we are not in any position to beat the system. The system has to be changed. And we, here at the Quantum Show, everybody, here at the Quantum Show, we work outside the system, okay? It's called the quantum. And we don't need to rely on things like disclosure on the news. I'm in
No.
contact, at least partial. Everybody's got their own in on this. We all have access. We just don't use the news. We don't need it coming from YouTube videos. YouTube just happens to be there so we can use YouTube to talk amongst ourselves. Nobody can understand what we're saying. Uh oh.
Yeah, and you're right. They have tried so hard to control what's going on, and YouTube, if YouTube can't control what the hell's going on here, and they can't,
Mm-mm.
uh, Twitter can't control what's going on there, and any of the other media outlets. That should give us a pretty good idea that, guess what, folks, they can't control us. you know,
Mm-mm.
they'd like to try, but they really can't get it done.
Well, that's why digital currency is coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about getting actual gold and actual, materials like that. Gold itself is
I
not money.
start with
Hmm?
silver and
Yeah.
save all your coins and get as many single dollar bills as you can.
Okay. But I was thinking about gold itself is not currency. Currency is our system of dealing with the representative. It's a long story. You know the deal. But
Oh, I
the
don't know. If
actual
things go
materials,
absolutely down, where you gonna spend gold? Who's gonna want it?
yeah, who's going to be able to use it? I don't
Yeah,
know if the Anunnaki are
Who's
buying
gonna? No,
lately.
the question is who's gonna be able to make change.
nobody.
That's why you go
Yeah.
silver. That's why you go single dollar bills.
Yeah, but if it takes a wagon or a wheelbarrow full of Deutschmarks, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
Like
why
it
you
did during the depression in the 20s.
that's why before you go to silver or gold or coins or dollar bills, you go with lead.
Oh, something else is being able to barter,
Well,
and not
that's
only,
a skill is necessary even now.
yeah, I'm so glad I live in Tennessee. It's a farming community. I
Yeah.
can help with the farm. If nothing else, I can keep track of his paperwork and keep track of where he's keeping what, whoever Mr. Farmer is.
Mhm. Oh God, somebody wanted to give me a goat earlier this evening.
A what? A
I'm like,
goat?
a goat?
Oh,
I don't
goats
have
are tasty.
that.
Goats.
No, not for no.
No.
No, I mean I kidded Raven the other day about cats, but I simply don't have the heart to kill anything. I
Hmm.
really don't.
It depends on
So
how hungry I am.
I'll let someone else do it, and I'll eat fine, and I'll sleep fine, but I can't do the job.
I'm not so big into slaughtering either.
No,
I would rather
couldn't do it when
grow
I was a kid.
apples.
Can't do it now.
I would rather grow something and eat that, you know.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I don't. My yard doesn't have enough grass or other things for them to eat, and I can feed my family, and one more pet isn't going to get it. And I got two worthless dogs here that don't even yell when somebody comes through the door.
You're making me hungry again, man.
Yep, kabuki.
Here we come.
I got some waffles, so I'm good.
He's craving waffles. I'm amazed it's not pancakes. How can you not
Actually,
be
what I'm
wanting
craving is French
pancakes?
toast. French toast
Mm.
is superior breakfast bread. Sorry.
You know
Come at
what's
me,
good
bro.
French toast? Take, you know how you'll bring home some rolls from the restaurant occasionally. You get to go
No,
out.
no, I
I've
eat them
gone
all.
Yes.
out. I
They don't make it
I
home.
I do. They do for me. And I slice those things up into thin slices and egg the heck out of them and French toast them. Oh my God, that's good. And here we are in
The
Europe. has,
quantum food show.
has anybody seen the
He
cinnamon
started it.
roll
It's not me
thing?
this time.
I did it. I did it. It's Edgar's fault. But
It's right there. It's right there in the comment.
that I tried that cinnamon roll challenge, the one with the cream and letting it rise a little bit and doing it
Hmm.
that way. Holy cow, that's great.
It was good, wasn't it? It
It
looks so
was.
good. I need to do that.
And I was sitting there thinking, if one of those goes stale, that'd French toast just perfectly. But around here, that ain't gonna keep.
Yep.
that
And
that was good. It's I've been following a fella, and I can't think of his name offhand, but he does the Dollar Tree $5 dinner, 6 kids,
mm, okay.
and he comes up with some pretty good stuff. But I'll tell you what, it behooved. anybody who's listening to learn to do a few good scratch recipes. And scratch does not mean it's hard to do. It means it's going to have, you know, flour, water, salt, maybe some yeast, maybe some baking powder. Throw that together and you got dinner. And that a few of those in under your belt keep you from starving.
Hmm.
And I know that because I've used them. Used them 40 years ago. Well, we just gotten married. Things were
Hmm.
pretty rough for us, and beans were out of our ballpark. How about them apples?
Hmm.
We couldn't afford beans, so but I could get flour. I could have that stuff run. I had basics, but you learn to cook. But if you know it before the bad stuff happens, hey, you know it before the bad stuff happens, doesn't worry you nearly as much and it doesn't add to your stress level.
Right. There's going to be enough bad stuff going on without having to
Sure, sure.
deal with where's my food gonna, what am I?
Uh,
I've got to do with it. I don't know how to
what do
cook.
I do? What do I do
Yeah.
with these Vienna sausages? How do I even get the things open? You know,
Hmm.
that sort
Well,
of mess.
Vienna sausage are mostly water. I highly recommend against them, other than
Yeah,
just
I don't
a
care for
treat
it.
or a snack. They really have very little nutritional value.
So
But
I just pulled that out of my rear.
okay, yeah, they're really. My son loves them, but they're
They're
one, they're
expensive.
overpriced. They're
Yeah,
overpriced, and they aren't. You're not gonna. You won't get an hour on them before you're hungry again.
that's right. That's right.
And they're
They-
full
I,
of
I,
corn
I just
syrup.
started. I started a new prepper show for beginners. Wednesday or Thursday noonish my time, California time, on my channel. You may want to check it out because we're helping beginner preppers with some really good advice from myself and my friend Bo.
Why don't you put your links there in the show description so that if someone needs to refer to it, they can. Yeah, 50
Because I
pound
can't.
bag of beans. Manifesting make there be a lot more. That's from Joe. Put that up for us, will you,
I'll
May?
put his link in the description after the show.
Yeah,
If it goes in the live chat, it's pretty much got a time
gone.
limit put
It'll
on
be
it.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll put his links in the show afterwards.
Show Joe's comment up there too. 50-pound bag. And I'll tell you
Hmm.
what. I'm going to tell a quick story. Now, manifesting seems to be this big deal, right? Oh my gosh, you can't do that. Yeah, you actually can. My sister and her husband came home from the service. They had been lifers. Came home, he had a shoulder injury, was mustered out. And it came to me because there was nowhere else for them to go. And I had a little teeny house, had a two-bedroom house, and had what, three kids and three and four adults to take care of. I had a freezer. I had some things in the freezer, but I didn't have a lot. I know I didn't.
Hmm.
But they stayed with us for a couple months, and my husband's company went on strike. No money coming in, no ability to get any money. Okay? Because when you're on strike, you have decided not to go to work. So,
Right.
I go to the freezer and I thank the goddess for making making sure my family, all of my family, got to eat that day. How much I appreciated it. So this time I got to reach in and feed 7 people. helped me do that. Reached in, took out whatever it was that came to hand. I did that for 8 weeks. Nothing went into that freezer for 8 weeks. That's a lot. That's a lot of people to feed on it. And this wasn't a big freezer. This was a little bitty thing. But every time I went in there for something to eat for the family, it was there every single time. Now, little miracle there, perhaps a little manifesting, a little blessing from deity, but
Mm-hmm.
they went their merry way. We helped them set up in a new home, and my husband went back to work. And I went to grocery store on the first day pay, which 3 weeks after that. Okay. And went to put my groceries in the freezer. Okay. It was empty. How about them apples?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, think what you
Yeah.
want to of it, but that happened. And it's happened to me since. Where things have been, oh my God, tight, and what are we going to do? And it's just, hey, thank God, however you perceive Him. How bad is it? And thank Him for every single blessing that you have, and then reach in. Now, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that there will be something there for you. I don't know that, you know, but it has worked for me a number of times, you know, and particularly if I'm giving charity,
Yeah.
sharing it around. You can't outgive God. It's a
Mm-mm.
pretty common way of putting it, but it's true. You cannot outgive deity.
Mm-mm.
It's one of the reasons why one of the base points in my relationship now and my relationships then has always been make sure that someone less fortunate gets to, however you choose to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is really one of the cornerstones of manifestation is being thankful and giving.
Yes.
Oh, and no one wants to realize that.
No.
A lot of people do realize that. Here we are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we
Here
do
we are.
realize, and I've learned it fairly early on. You
Yeah. And
know,
so many
it's
people,
part of
they
our
just,
teaching in our covens, and
hmm
part of our cornerstones of our existence, really.
unfortunately, that's not common enough knowledge.
Yeah.
And it's just,
It's
it's
not the
second
lack
nature
of
to me.
trying.
Yeah.
The
Not
secret says as much. That was very popular a few years back.
very mainstream.
Um, the What Would Jesus Do movement,
Hmm
same information. This isn't craft or Wicca. It's humanity.
Human. I was about to say it's human.
It's human.
And everyone, I call it the quantum link, but everybody, like I said in the first hour, all of us are magical. And we can all do that stuff. It just don't call it that. If you don't like it, it's
No,
still there, you know. I'm not
it
crazy about the
doesn't
fact that
mind
I'm a
what you
short
call it.
dude, but it's there and I use it to my advantage.
Well,
Just
I'm 5 foot
just
two,
saying.
but I've got 6'1" worth attitude.
Right?
You know, I'm not very tall. Of course, then I've got 6'6" worth of attitude who lives with me,
hmm
and
But Lynn, it's been an hour, and Amy and I are out of coffee, so I got to walk over there and
How
get
could
some
you do
more.
this
So
to me?
I, it's the it's the Lynn Ann show.
I've been sitting here with coffee too, except mine's big cold.
Oh, well, I gotta go. I made a pot right before the show, so I gotta just. It's like
Pour me
little
some.
break time. Imagine elevator music, people. I'll be right back.
Oh, well. You know, my poochers are named Monty Howell and Bob Barker.
Oh God.
That's horrible. Two of them can't be bothered to bark if the doorbells ring, you know.
Those are good names. Those are good solid dog names.
Monty and Bob.
I just got the chewer, and next one I get, it's going to be Sir Rufus.
There you go. I like that.
But unless I find a dog that looks like Chewy when Chewy passes on, then I'll just name him Chewy too.
Yeah. You know, Chihuahuas usually don't last much longer than 15, 16 years. I had my girl for 20. So, they last
my
quite
super
a
mutt,
while.
12, 13 years old now.
Yeah. Joe's lab's about, gee, 16, 17 years old. Labs usually don't last beyond 10, 11 years old. But if they're loved and they're cared for, they can last pretty long. And they want to.
Nice, Joe. Very nice.
That's good. Rough, rough. Where's your ball? On the roof. Amy needs coffee, huh? We've uh, we've had an interesting last few weeks. You're aware of the accident in Russia,
Which one?
the nuclear accident.
I don't think that was an accident.
Oh, it may not have been, but they have billed it as an accident. That's how it'll go down. Not a good thing for any of us. I must have known something was going on. I ordered some extra iodine a few days ago.
I live 15 minutes outside of Scottsdale. If anything happens, I'm toast.
Well,
Okie doke.
I'm on the other side of the mountain from a couple of military bases. I think three of them. So I figured that not have enough time to kiss Frank goodnight, and that'll be it.
Okay. I don't even know what that was about, but that's okay. That's all right. If it's here, if it's said on this show,
Got a
it's
little dark
quantum.
here.
Sorry? What did you say?
It just got a little dark out here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
do you cream your coffee or do you keep it black?
Me?
Mm.
I put cream in it. I can have it black, but I put cream in it.
I have cream and latte, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I like my coffee like my soul black.
I have mine without the coffee, just the water.
Yeah.
Just the water, right? The pre-coffee coffee. I use diet coffee. Cinnamon.
Unflavored coffee.
Yeah, I use cinnamon, turmeric, honey, and then whatever creamer I get. I try to stick to the healthier creamers, not sugar-free. They're not healthy.
No, they're sure not. Yeah, I just skip sugar altogether. I drink it
I
black.
I don't add sugar. Whatever's in the creamer.
Well, creamer has a terrific amount of sugar in it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. I've been okay. Talking about sugar, I've been doing the turmeric, berberine, and fish oil to take care of blood sugar balancing, and it is working.
What
I
is
have been wean.
berberine? Explain to me. What is berberine?
This is what I get, berberine, and it's naturally occurring, right?
Mm-hmm. In what?
It in I am not sure. It's not simple organics is the name of the thing, and I'm looking.
All right. We know they don't use pesticides. Now what?
Okay, let me. You know what? Let me Google that. That's a good question. I should have. I should know this.
Well,
Here I am going with the TikTok videos,
I
and I don't
ask
even know what it is.
questions. My doctor absolutely frickin' hates me. And, because I ask him questions about stuff, he's like, I don't know. I said, why don't you know? You should know these things.
Okay, berberine is a chemical found in some plants like European barberry, golden seal, gold thread, Oregon grape, philodendron, and tree turmeric. Berberine is a bitter tasting and yellow colored chemical in those things. It might help strengthen the heartbeat, which could benefit people with certain heart conditions.
Hmm.
Also, it is a what I have been told. Um, uh, Come on, learn to type. It helps to stimulate the pancreas to do its thing and aid in
Digestion?
what is that? What is that called? Something
Med-
resistance,
oh, insulin resistance.
insulin resistance. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I've heard.
Hmm.
And uh, okay, here it is. Some claim the benefits are comparable to pharmaceutical medications like the blood sugar lowering metformin. I cannot take metformin.
I won't
Others
take
take it.
metformin.
Yeah, no, it's that's the others take it further, asserting the research has concluded that berberine is a good treatment option to try before insulin therapy and may offer better results than metformin. And I can say it definitely offers better results than this other stuff that they got me on, pioglitazone, and that is for blood sugar.
Yeah.
It's for insulin resistance, and it seems like it's working because I didn't take my med today. I took coffee, uh, cinnamon, which is good for you anyway, the turmeric, and berberine and fish oil. And all those things, none of them are bad for you. And I
Well,
learned recently, and something else I learned recently was the laundry stuff. Uh, it's hot in my room. I'm like, whew, what was that? Um, I just bought a box of it. It's for laundry. Can't think of it.
hi, Diane.
Um, oh my God, laundry.
Well, my doctor told me about 4 years ago. Says, I need to put you on metformin. And I said, ain't happening. Not doing it. She was, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, watch me. 4 years later, no insulin, none of that stuff. And my glucose is normal. All diet.
Hmm.
Have I lost weight?
Borax.
No. Oh, you okay? I have. I lost 65 pounds. COVID hit, I found 20 of it. But I'm working on it. I'm going to get it back
Sorry,
down.
Diane.
Mm, sorry, honey.
Yeah, sorry, Diane. Oh, I don't know. I don't know your situation, Diane. I wish I could help you.
Can't help it.
Mm-mm.
We offer no medical advice here.
Nope, no
Guess
medical
what?
advice,
We're
just
none
what
of
we
us
know.
doctors.
I just play a doctor on TV.
I don't even do that. I'm no doctor. I simply frustrate the hell out of them.
My doctor gets frustrated with me too because I'm like, hey, what about this? What about that? What about the cinnamon? I've been taking cinnamon like religiously. I've been
Right.
buying it. I buy it in bulk. So now I take it goes in every cup of coffee. If I'm drinking coffee here, it's got cinnamon in it.
You know
And
what I do?
hmm,
I eat meat. I eat meat.
Yeah,
yep.
my doctor would hate me if I actually had one.
Oh, mine hates me. She definitely does. But my methods work, and she can't deny it. And every time she says, "Well, you're gonna do this," and I said, "Oh no, I'm not." You know, she's been on me to take statins. I worked with the elderly for 10 years, and another five ahead of that. Every single one of them were on statins. Every person who was had dementia or Alzheimer's were on statins.
Yeah.
All of
Funny how
all.
that little percentage goes unlooked at.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Now, do you know what Alzheimer's is referred to in the medical community?
Do tell.
Diabetes type 3. That's what it's referred to because they're starving the brain. You know how they're doing that? They're cutting the fat out of a person so badly that their brain's not getting nourished. That's my
Mm.
opinion. That's not medical. That's none of that. That's my opinion. And every single person that I know who is on statins is a blithering idiot.
I
The ones
recommend
who
lying
aren't
down
using
there,
them.
Diane.
Yeah, Diane. Yeah, lay down, drink water.
Yes, please do. And if you need to call somebody, call somebody. We mean it now,
Definitely.
Diane. Mind. The
Yeah, you told me that about statins.
yeah.
I looked at my med, and mine was a generic one of those, but it was still one of those
Oh
for
yeah.
cholesterol. And
What's for?
uh, I threw it away on the show. I threw it away on the show. I didn't
Feel
show it going
clearer?
into the garbage can, but
See, that's been a
hmm,
couple weeks back. You feel clearer,
I feel
like you can think.
so clear. I feel so
Yeah,
clear. My mind, okay, I've also been taking these, right?
I can't
And
see it, honey.
Mushroom gummies.
mushroom gummies.
That
They're
sounds
not magic
disgusting.
mushroom gummies, right?
Why
That-
not?
It's like it's
if I have
like
mushrooms, I
lion's
want
mane.
fried with butter, onions, and garlic.
it these are
Back to food again,
uh
are we?
yeah, back to
Right,
food.
and that's
Food's
his
good.
fault.
Let's
He
see, what do
did
we
it.
got?
He said mushroom gummies. I'm like, oh.
Eh.
No, they
Bad
do seem
thing
to
about
help.
it, yeah, I feel
Terrific.
clear lightning reflexes going on mentally. And like
Yeah.
my hand-eye coordination, while it always needs work, is on point, right?
I'm not
My
saying
my stuff is on point. What's in here? Manitaki, These are different mushrooms: shiitake, lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, chaga, turkey tail, white button, black fungus, royal sun. Those are all
Whatever it
good
is, it
mental.
sounds good.
Yeah, they're mental, and it's okay. The stuff that makes it a gummy is not so good because it's got glucose syrup, sugar, which is glucose, pectin,
Or
citric
sugar.
acid,
Yeah,
natural raspberry, sodium citrate, purple carrot juice concentrate, which is good. I've never had purple carrots, but
yeah.
that's okay.
No purple
Vegetable
carrots,
oil.
before a certain time in history, I mean like in the last 100 years, carrots were purple, white. They weren't orange. That is a construct. Now it doesn't mean that they're not real carrots. It means that they played with it and spliced
Right.
it in genes.
GMO.
Yeah.
They I've
Well,
been
not
There,
I've
Tim.
GMO. They spliced the genes. You know, when they in a simple matter of putting uh, two species of carrot together and coming up with a third. Good night, Tim. Thanks for stopping by with us.
hmm
The the thing is though that like for me, because my diet is meat, uh, I can have coconut oil and nut meats, that sort of thing. I like MCT oil. But I'll tell you what, a little bit of that goes a long way, or you're going to spend your day in the bathroom.
hmm hmm
So
I've
basically,
been
no change.
Pardon me? So
So basically,
basically,
no change for me.
no change. For you or for me?
right. Sapphire is saying GMO isn't inherently bad. It's just
No.
what did you say? Drought resistant wheat, flood resistant rice, and maize have saved much of the world. Also,
Yeah.
rice enriched with vitamin A, which is good for the eyes. And
Right. Well, it gives
GMO
it
is not
some
bad.
nutrients. Rice doesn't have
Right. I
a lot of
mean,
nutrients in itself. Neither does wheat. So the
right.
enrichment of it has been helpful to people. Has it been perfect? I don't think we're at a perfect place,
Mm-mm.
but by any stretch of imagination, I mean, you can go zealot on it. I suppose I'm sure you could. In fact, it's the purists can make matters pretty rough on you. If you try to go purist on meat or vegetables, either one, you're going to spend $1,500 for two people in a month. Most of us can't
Yeah.
afford to do that.
Mm-mm.
You know, I take care of this household on $200 a month, three if I'm lucky.
Yeah. I might
That's for
on
six
myself.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I might spend $60 every 2 weeks on
yeah.
myself, only myself.
Mhm.
And I'm not buying garbage food either. I
No,
mean, and
it's
I only 60. I don't get a ton because I can't, it doesn't keep. A lot of stuff
right,
doesn't keep. I have stuff
right.
in jars and cans. Yeah, that keeps. But things like broccoli doesn't
Yeah,
keep. You got to cook it.
fresh broccoli, fresh
Spinach.
onions, potatoes.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking
Avocado, the
about?
worst.
What
Hmm?
the hell are those words you guys are using?
Sorry, please.
What the hell are those words you guys are using? Avocado, broccoli.
What the hell is
What
that,
language is
man?
that?
What is that?
I didn't hear bacon, steak, chicken, or ham once.
No, he's the
oh,
one
that
doing the
stuff.
grocery shopping. It ain't me.
Yeah, hey, that stuff don't last. It don't need to keep. It don't last. It goes
Mm-mm.
first.
You know why? It
Yeah,
doesn't last.
sausage
Because
and
that's what your body's
Okay, that's a
craving the
word I know.
most. Meat is what we didn't crawl to the top of the food chain to eat vegetables.
Growing
That's all there is to
broccoli?
it.
What the hell is that?
Well, I can't eat it. I get sicker than a dog on some of these vegetables, and that's not. I'm not joking.
Kale? What
Matter.
the hell is kale?
No, I don't eat kale.
I've eaten kale. I hate that stuff. I do. I hate it. Now, a garden that is at home and we're doing the right things with it. I very seldom will have a problem with the garden food, but buying it from a grocery store, even organic, is something a problem. So,
Watch out for the new stuff coming out with the appeal label on it. Don't get that. That's Bill Gates. Appeal,
What are these
A
emojis?
P
I
E
don't
E L.
understand.
Let's see
what do you
here.
mean it's Bill
What are these
Gates?
emojis?
What are you
What are
saying?
these?
Um, that's Bill Gates's
Personal label,
GMO,
personal GMO.
his personal run GMO. I'm
How
going to
does
bring
one's
up what to
conscience
look
even
for.
help? How does one's conscience even? How do you live with that poisoning
Yeah,
your people?
because he thinks he's a lizard. He is not a lizard. He's a monkey like all of us. And there we go. This right here.
You know what
I'm going
I
to
do
bring up the
about
picture.
lizards, don't you?
I like lizards. He
Well,
thinks he's
they're
one, but he
okay.
isn't.
They minds their own business. I'm perfectly all right with them. They try to try to step all over my feet. I stomp them.
I'm going to bring up the appeal logo just to show people what to look for.
I don't think well, it isn't bothering down here, but then again, we're in the middle of a farming community here too.
Yep, yep. He's not here yet. This is for the city dwellers that all they can do is go to the
Right. Well,
uh
even city dwellers. If I lived in the city, and I have, okay, this is not an experiment with me. I've done it where I've taken a bucket, put dirt in it, and grown tomatoes, grown peppers, grown carrots and potatoes. Appeal, huh? I see. Looks
okay.
pretty.
Yeah, looks very appealing. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
It's not the right shape. It needs to be a banana.
Yeah.
Oh, I could go places
Yeah,
with
speak
that. Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. All kind. But this is what to look out for. I recommend do not get dislabeled food if you find it. Pass. Go local, go some not that, right?
Go local, go seasonal.
Hmm. Just don't get that because that is it's
Uh,
talking
Thanks, brother.
about yeah.
I will be good. Well, I'll be good at what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm trying. I know I'm very trying.
Yeah, fake meat. Yeah. I've been reading about fake meat and
Them's
where it comes
fighting
from.
words, man.
Fake
Fake meat. What the
meat,
hell?
soy.
Them's fighting words.
The worst thing that a man could possibly put in his body is soy products. It sets up a photoestrogen and it
Hmm.
literally robs him of his masculinity. That is
Yeah.
exactly
And
what it does.
that is not um that is not that's science. That's science. That's what it does in the human body. That's science. It's not um
It's not
what it,
natural.
it's not
Natural.
right, and it's also it's not a jab at the what is it the letter brigade, LGBT, ABC, whatever, all that. I don't know what they're up to right now. It's not a jab at
Gangsies?
that.
No.
Yeah, it's not a jab at those guys. That's science. It's been science for 200 years. So mm, it's I mean, we figured that out long time ago. Almost, not quite 200, maybe not 200 years. Million years ago.
We're having a difficult time understanding why we're having growth development problems in our youngsters. And I will say that they already know is soy products.
Hmm.
It's products that use photoestrogen and some of those that cause well, it causes girls to mature too early and boys too late.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's part of, I don't know, eugenics wars, Nazis
maybe.
trying to guide the populace in the development because when you have a
Ever
physically
since,
weak populace, huh?
yeah, ever since the FDA stuck up the the food board for everyone and said you need 7 or 6 to 8 servings of wheat products every day, high
Yeah.
starch, and then you need a very low amount of fat and meat and more vegetables than the average person could possibly eat. This
8
country has been
oranges a
sick.
day.
Yeah, this country has been sick. Gee, I wonder why. Do you
Yeah,
realize?
let's.
Do you have any idea that chart was put together by uh, advertising that was done during World War II and
I
right
was about to
after
say that.
in order to make sure that the army got enough meat and grease, fats to run properly so that their men could fight strong.
Hmm.
There you go. But they never ever revised it. They never took another look at it. Every damn dietitian, every dietitian in the country learns that Bible, verse and Bible, that is
Hmm.
how things should be done. And look at our country. Good look at the average beach in the 1950s, the early 1950s. There wasn't an obese person on that beach. Every
Mm-mm.
other person now is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
strictly how we've been eating. That's not
goes back
anything
to
else.
we're the social experiment.
Yes.
We have been guided for whatever reason. Why? Because a physically weak population does not rebel. A physically they
Yep.
the social structures. We have enough cowboys left over. You're one that
Headstrong women.
those.
Where does that come from? No
Hmm,
women are headstrong anymore. They all go along with whatever you want to do.
right,
The
and
whole populace is that way.
yeah, they've been manipulating us through foods, through propaganda
Well,
for
we could take days
years
on
since.
Karen on a hormonal rage, but you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
Well, you
and
know why
they've
that
got.
is, right?
do tell.
Behind every blade of grass.
Hmm. Hmm. They don't want us to be strong within ourselves.
Oh
They
no,
want
no.
sheep. They want cattle, and
They
I
want
wish
people to do
more
exactly what they're
people would.
told.
Right. I wish more people would realize we are the powerful ones, not the government, the leaders, the elites. Who makes guillotines? People like us,
Well, why do you
right?
think they don't? They're not called 1% because of how much they have. They're 1%
Hmm.
because that's how many of them there are.
Hmm.
And I don't believe they make up 1%. I do not think
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, and I'm okay. I'm not going to get spun up on that one though.
No, no, we're gonna have knocking at the door before we know what the hell happened.
Yeah, we don't need no more beeping, clicking helicopters or nothing.
I don't want any more black trucks parked out front. Thanks.
Right.
Well, unless it's Joe. You know, he has a black SUV.
Well, there's a
We
lot
know,
of stuff
Joe.
going
We know.
All
in
textbooks
the
are
chat
run.
room.
Interesting what's going on there.
Oh, well, Lunar, I'm reading what you're saying, and I hope things work out for the best. Lunar's, she says, what's she? My life partner's cousin is up for bail parole, and yeah, she's saying, anyway, I hope, let's see how this works out, and I hope everything works out to
Exactly the way it's
everyone's
supposed to
benefit.
do. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the way it's supposed to
Well, and
manifest.
Joe's right about textbooks. There's an old saying. It's really true. You know, the textbooks, the history books, are written by the victor.
Hmm.
You know, and nothing goes in there except precisely what they want to go in there. Much of the things that happened 60 years ago, 50 years ago, are not told from a
Mm-mm.
standpoint you see them. You know, it. How often are you told that the Cuyahoga River caught fire in the late 60s, early 70s? You don't hear that, but it did.
Mm-mm.
I know it did. I saw it. You know,
Yeah, there is a
that
ton.
got the sanctions for pollution and the rest of it started from activism there. The revolution
Hmm.
is just what it says. It goes a certain way around and then it stops until the next thing happens to get it rolling again. You know,
Yep.
Speaking of
the
rolling, did I hear someone say something like guillotines?
Like
you are
what?
echoing so badly. Can you
He
say
said,
again?
they said, speaking of rolling, didn't someone just mention guillotines?
That
And
was me.
sometimes part of it. It's called trickle down
Yeah, and
economics. Try to get it right.
you know what? Here's something to keep us interested for a few days, maybe.
Okay.
Local history. Look up the local history in your area to see
Right.
what's been forgotten.
That's a
Actually, you
lot.
can actually go to the library and look at old newspapers. You put a good benchmark there, 60 years. 60 years. That's a good time frame. Just 60 years. How about
I
that?
did not throw you under a bus. What the hell are you talking about?
But locally, 60 years is a good time frame. That could be our starting point, right? Local history, not world history, not big life-changing events, local. I'll do Nashville and I'll
Yeah.
try to come up with something for local history for next week that things have been forgotten, starting with 60 years. Good idea. That's a good idea.
I don't know that my
60,
Lynn,
town's
a
been
thank
around
you.
100
that long.
maybe? 60, a
I don't.
100 maybe?
I don't
Yeah.
know my town's been around that long, to be honest.
Okay.
But I'll do some
Well,
research.
what was it before? Yeah, 60 years
Uh,
ago? What was that? 1960?
Desert,
1955, 1960?
the flat patch of
Okay.
desert.
Was it a was it a ranch? Because in El Paso, I know there was the Bowen Ranch for a long time,
Could be.
and it was
Okay.
huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, see, local
Doesn't
history,
even exist
and
really anymore.
I know it's a brand now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm out of touch with local history in El Paso anyway. I don't know what's going on there really.
Uh,
I hear about stuff on the news. I got them on
I know
Twitter
more
and stuff.
about Las Cruces history than I do El Paso. I reckon that Joe probably knows a good bit of El Paso history. But
You know what? Something happened in El Paso history. Here's something, right? I was living over near Hercules Avenue, and there is a historic building on Hercules. It was the border, and this happened. I took my ex Maria. We went there. I've been meaning to go there for years and years, but there was never any opportunity or nobody was there. So I went there and I saw the lights on and I saw somebody in there. And this building, I need to get a picture of it, right? This
Uh-huh.
is a Riverstone built building from 1830 something. It was the border and it was the frontier. That neighborhood was Mexico until the purchase, right?
Right.
And
Right.
that was a trading post before you went up Trans Mountain.
Uh-huh.
Me and her went there, and I've said this. It's been a long time since I talked about this one, right? We went there, and it's got a turret, old school built turret, skinny little windows for shooting people with
Mhm.
rifles, and
Well,
so
grown
arrows
up
don't make it in there.
robbers and rogue Indians. You
Yeah,
know,
and it's
that's what it was
a
for.
foot and a half thick walls made from river stone. It's not falling down. It was built tough. The all the
I
modern
believe
parts of
I've
it are
seen that
falling
building.
apart. Yeah, it's on Hercules, near Hercules. It's on a little street. I'll try to find it on Google and throw it up here in a few minutes. We went there. It at the time, I don't know what it is now. It was a church because that's who moved into it. And I went there and we caught somebody there and I was like, "Hey, I just wanted to talk about the building. I've been living here for years and I've been wanting to come see." And of course, I was really into the ghost part of stuff at the time. So I was like, "Hey, have you ever heard noises or seen anything in here?" This person, this person actually goes, "Well, this lady goes, well, we do hear noises from time to time, and sometimes somebody sees something, but it's Jesus." And I'm like, "Yeah, this place is haunted."
You know,
She goes, "But
if
it's
it's
Jesus." And I'm
unperturbed,
like,
that's all
"Yeah, this
right.
place is haunted. That's what's going on."
Yeah, but
What?
that's how she says it. It's comforting to her. She's in a church.
It's
That's
fine.
fine.
It's fine. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
still there, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I was literally on Joe's ghost detecting and ghost busting team, and I saw this place, and it piqued me. Now I know it was calling to me
Yeah. Yeah.
back then, and I didn't realize
No.
what was going on.
And I told
Let me
you
see.
Joe knew more about this than we do because he's over here saying about the Price Ranch. Bowen had rented the ranch, then probably bought it or some transaction, you know.
Hmm.
But
I'm going to try to
of
get
course,
Google.
most people don't quite understand that we're not talking about a little farm, okay?
Oh no!
We're talking about I don't
What,
know,
thousands of acres
thousands of acres. Yeah,
of desert?
the whole northeast side, you know, was all of that.
Yeah,
The
this was
wagon
not no.
stopped for either El Paso or Juarez.
Yeah, no. It would like it would be almost a quarter of the state of Tennessee.
Yeah,
I think. I think it would be a
I think
quarter
that's
of
a
the state.
good estimate for sure.
Tennessee's big, right?
Yeah.
And I think
Oh
four
yeah.
of them will fit with room inside the boundaries of Texas. And I think it was a quarter of Tennessee would be the Bowen Ranch. That's a lot, or a third of Tennessee. Maybe I don't know exactly, but it is enormous. You could drive for 2 hours from border to border of the Bowen
Right.
Ranch.
Right. And
Okay.
you can cross Ohio about halfway in 2 hours time. If that
Hmm.
helps
That's how
understand that.
big.
Yeah.
You could drive from one side of the Bowen Ranch when it was
Yeah.
what it was,
Yeah.
from one side to the other.
You
And
know,
it's
the Messia, the old Messia, is outside of Las Cruces. Las Cruces did not exist ahead of old Messia, and the Old Mesilla had the train station, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and Las Cruces evolved to turn a century here. But this area, Old Mesilla, attempted to jail Billy the Kid. That didn't go so well for them. They they flubbed it. you know,
Yeah.
he escaped. But there is a lot of Pat Garrett was here. He was killed out on what is now Route 70 or Old Main Street, but out towards the mountains, the Oregon mountains. Uh, happened to stop to take a comfort break, if you will, and they shot him dead. The people that he was chasing at the time. That his home was at the corner of what Madrid and Spruce, but that's here in Cruces. But that would have been out of town. Now it's the middle of town. Call it the war zone. But it's like all towns. They evolve, they grow larger. El Paso at this point in time went from an old western town to 1 million people, give or take 1,000 here or there,
Mm-hmm.
and more every day because, there's a lot of crossing into this town. But, and uh, Columbus, which is just south of here, was looted and robbed by Pancho Villa. So, it's a lot of history here from the 1800s and really even before that because the conquistadors came through here looking
Mm-hmm.
for gold. And in fact, the Oñate Trail, which is Don Juan Oñate, who was one of the conquistadors, the people who were exploring this area, bringing Christianity and making sure that people did exactly what they wanted. But it he has his name on a number of things here, but
Mm-hmm.
all of this rich, rich, rich in history. The Oregon Mountains are a source of, I want to say, plutonium.
I'm not sure.
I believe it is.
I
Frank, the Oregon Mountains, plutonium? Uranium. My
I was
mistake.
gonna say uranium.
Uranium.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, and also you mentioned conquistador looking for gold. The
Yes.
local legend is it's still there.
Oh, yeah.
It never got
El
found.
Dorado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I put in there's this thing in the Stanton Avenue or Stanton Street, downtown El Paso. There's a cave
Hmm.
right there. It
Right.
is downtown. Thousands of people drive past it every week
Have no
and
clue.
don't even realize it's right there.
Yeah.
And I was going to go down there, and I told Maria I want to go down to that cave. I want to park somewhere and go. She goes, "You're not going to go." She thought I meant just like free climb into this thing. I'm like, no, 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 no.
I
My
don't think
dad
you could.
took me rappelling, and with the headlamps and the flashlights and the elbow pads and everything. So I know how to. I'm not exactly mountain troop qualified, but I can make it happen. I'm from
Yeah.
Tennessee. We got caves all
Can
over the
do.
place.
Right.
I went to a cave when I was in high school. Shouldn't have been there. Totally dangerous to get through. Let me tell you about this cave, right? Okay, you got Carthage, Tennessee, South Carthage. You got two bridges, the big bridge and the little bridge. Now, when I say little bridge, I mean it's not a big trestle bridge, right? It's a concrete overpass over the river.
Okay.
And the way you get to the other side, just the way it was built, you couldn't just get all, oh, we lost shadow. Okay. You couldn't just walk off the road because of the way it was put together.
Hmm.
Steep banks on both sides of this. It's bluffs, right? So what we had to do is now there was a little way on the city side. I say city side, loosely city, right? Carthage, South Carthage. You had to either climb up a ladder or go way far back and do like a switchback thing to get up to the base of this bridge of this side. And then there was a catwalk. The catwalk didn't have any safeties. It was for servicing, for cleaning out drains and hanging wires and making sure there's no bird's nest on the antifreeze things, right?
Right.
We went up there. You're supposed to have hooks, ropes, hard hat, right? There's no ceiling. It's just girders. Me and a bunch of my teenage buddies in high school crawled up there. And okay, you know how a lot of sidewalks are, uh, the the cement in the sidewalks is just a little bit too big for one step.
Right.
That's the way these girders were. They were about 4.5 feet apart, a little too wide for one step. And I had to get down. I'm one of the shorter people there, so I was okay hunching down a little
What
bit.
did you
But our
toss
6 foot
across?
buddy, yeah, I was. We were supposed to have the big hooks and the ropes and the hook on each hand to be able to go across. It's like we didn't use none of that, right? Nobody fell off the bridge neither, and I had it easy.
For lack of trying.
Yeah, the two of our guys almost fell off because one was really tall and one was really big, and he had no business being on no underslung bridges. It
Mm.
was crazy the stuff that we did out in the country.
All the
We went
stuff we
across that bridge.
survived. Who knows how we did?
Hmm. We went across the underside of that bridge, doing the monkey boy thing the whole way across. And we went to the other side. There's a cave up there. It's still there, and people used to. I think I saw 19 something written in graffiti in that cave, and I put
Yeah.
1997 because that's about when I went and did this crazy thing.
Yeah.
But
Tourist
yeah, it was.
types like to leave their mark, so to speak.
Yeah, and it wasn't
Kilroy was here.
right.
This
I
is
wasn't doing graffiti. I think I
no,
took a
of course not.
sharpie or something and wrote it on a white rock. I wasn't doing anything,
Joe says here
untoward.
there's also a cave on South Mount Franklin that people have found. Find a coin or two and go down to get gear to collect more. Never can find the cave again. Yeah,
Hmm.
that happens often. Franklin Mountains are very haunted, and
Oh man, and they're
are it's
confusing.
almost like fairy like. When I say that, I mean like now you see it, now you don't.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
and I've seen things up in the Franklins that weren't there, and well, Frank says they weren't there. I saw them, but and people don't quite get it that there's gold in them our hills. There's uranium. It's also considered, the organs are
Sorry about that,
poisonous
guys.
mountains. No problem. Everything's good. Now we can hear him. You sound good.
Thanks. Yeah, popping in and out must have helped. No,
Mm.
no.
No, there we go again. Ah, be darned.
Y'all got an echo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Let me replug mine. That might.
maybe that'll help.
How about now?
No echo on your part. How about you,
how about
Shadow?
me?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, hooray for
There's
technology!
something there. I don't know. But, the whole cave thing, I went down in the Blue Hole Cave that in Ohio. The Blue Hole, they have never found the bottom to. Okay,
Mm.
Wow.
and they've scuba dived the whole bit, and what they have figured out is that it's a natural spring and rock formation that's been formed by Lake Erie, by the waters, and we're talking about halfway down the state from the lake. But you got to realize that lake is an inland sea. It's not a lake. It's a sea. And they don't call it North Coast flippantly, really. But got down there, and the guide said, "That's the keystone," and she's shouting at it. And man, I have claustrophobia. I managed to get down that far, and you know what? I knew the way back up just as fast. In fact, really much faster. And on all fours on the way up, don't be in the way. You know, and I don't like small spaces, and this cave was not small. We're talking about you've been in a basketball gymnasium. That's how big this was. It was huge, and these caves are well, some of them are ritual caves from Indian religious ceremonies
Mhm.
and things like that. Some of them are actually burial grounds too. So, not just in Ohio. In fact, Ohio are known for the mounds, but the down here too, because there were kivas, and a kiva is uh, a place to worship, but it's underneath ground. There's
Mhm.
there's a certain type of ventilation, but they're littered across the desert here. So
Yeah,
the desert looks empty, but it certainly isn't.
yeah, and every now and again you get something modern. You get a vent sticking up, and it's like, what's that?
Yeah,
What is that?
you mind your own daggone business. You'll wake out much better.
Hmm. Go looking, and then all of a sudden, no one sees you ever again.
Hmm,
No trace.
no, there isn't. And what it might, yeah, El Paso's the last case. We should really try to get him back on. I tried to talk him into it, and he was out and about tonight.
Hmm.
But get him on and get him to tell stories because he's good at them. Tell
Hmm.
some of these things because he
Yeah,
knows most of the local legends and
you're talking about
many
Joe.
others too, huh?
You're
Yeah,
talking about Joe.
Joe.
Yeah,
Mm.
just so everyone in here knows, we're talking about Joe.
I haven't thrown him under the bus.
No.
He's too damn big for me to pick up.
And the bus would be a wreck.
Yeah, probably. That's if it
Oh.
hits me.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Sapphire Elf was talking about in Australia something happened. A 97-year-old lady in a nursing home was tased to death, and they're not
No.
talking about it. And that's part of being corralled like cattle.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk about that.
Nope.
And Australia's got their own, huh, they need to recover on their own. And there's some
I don't know what's
very
going on
strange
there.
things happening in Australia. Talk about the jab and talking about
Cracking up. That's what it
uh,
sounds
Yeah,
like.
we need to
A mental patient. A 97-year-old mental patient cannot be throttled to the ground and taken in peacefully. Is that what you're telling me? 97?
Samo, you're up. Go ahead. It's okay. That is, what is the point of this? Mental patient.
Get it?
Yes. And what's that? What's that? What? But just, let's just
Your
take it as
average
a,
officer knows enough martial arts to take down a 250-pound man.
let's
What's
go
this
ahead and
about?
just chalk that
I
up
don't
to
get it.
point of clarification
Yeah, I guess
and
maybe we don't understand.
clarifying detail, just enlightening detail about the situation. And I'll be right back. It's been another hour, and I got to take a little break.
Okay. He needs coffee. Are we taking bets?
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I'll bet on coffee with Nathan anytime. I could use some coffee, but Frank won't let me have any now. I'll be up all night. He don't want that. You have caves where you're at, Shadow? Can we even hear you? You can't hear? Oh boy. Okay. So anyway, folks, we're taking a coffee break, trying to digest what all we know. Want to thank the chat room again for supporting us and being out there for us. Stay here, Samo Gufani and Rockstar. Always a pleasure to see you, Sapphire Elf. Pleasure to see you too. Saw Diane Brothers a little bit ago, and let's see who all. Lunar Sparkles, of course, Joe Lawrenson. He says we miss you on the air there, Joe. Told you that tonight, and that's just what I see right here. Oh, hi, Diane. Diane has to go to bed. She got it burning up. So, anyway, Diane, if you need somebody, call them. If you need some, sending you good vibes and hope that you're feeling better in the morning.
Get better, Diane. Yeah,
Shadow,
I'm looking in it. I'm looking
Shadow's on
now.
a telephone call. And
Well, sorry about that little interruption. Just
no
had to
problem.
go.
We're just chattering here.
Okay.
We, you know, coffee is go juice around here. It's the only way to get up.
Yeah.
But after a certain time in the night, you cannot be drinking coffee. Can't go to sleep.
Well,
Tell you good night, Diane. Feel better soon.
good night, Diane. Definitely get better. I suggest drinking water, all the
Yeah.
herbal stuff. Okay. But something I wanted to, and I'm glad we're all here because something I didn't get to touch on in the first hour that I got wound up past was
Mhm.
keeping comms or not keeping. Okay, keeping communication going and keeping calm with spirit guides, and so you don't forget they're there,
Right.
and you get so I've been so wrapped up in this Mercury project that I have been not talking, right? That I've been just so wrapped up in my own stuff, not talking. Like I used to have full on conversations with these guys, right? And now I'm so wrapped up in it, I have to step back. That's something I did. I had to step back. I've been obsessing with this thing, which is good
That's
in
not
its
healthy.
no, it's I mean it's got a point to it, but it's not good to where I see people and I don't know, did something go on with the moon this week, this month? Because so many people seem to have lost their damn minds, right? I got people
Actually,
I
no, it's
cut.
been a solar storm.
Okay, that might have a lot to do with it. A bunch of people have lost their damn mind. I actually had to cast a spell on somebody to get them to chill out. I ain't going into it online, right? I actually had to
Occasional
do
hurts is
that.
not a bad thing.
No, and it wasn't an offensive thing. It wasn't what these modern day are calling baneful magic. It was
No.
very elemental and it was very cold.
Yeah,
So
it's more or less chill out.
yeah, I had to put them on ice. Raven knows what I'm talking about. And Raven said she might have been able to come on the show tonight from an airport. I don't know where she's flying, but she's was on a plane and she was talking about the layover. She was
Okay.
here earlier.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of hoping to say hi to her too.
Yeah,
I
she
think she's
messaged
mad at
me.
me for the cat recipe thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, she's very fond of her animals. And I don't like
Oh
it
yeah,
when
I know.
somebody talks about putting one of my dogs into a burrito. You know, it
Oh, wow.
it has been a very interesting week. It's been a productive one. But like you were saying about your guides, it doesn't have to be a full on conversation every single day. It can be say, "Hey, how are you? I'm doing okay. Is there anything you
Mm,
need to discuss with me?" They'll either tell you or not.
hmm.
Shadow, you're not got any sound if you're trying to come back on. Anyway, the Joseph is hoping that Raven's broom's holding up to flying. I don't know. I use a vacuum cleaner, but boy, that sudden stop when you hit the end of the line is something else. that the uh, conversations with your guides can be really productive, or you can obsess on them because people obsess on the doggonest things, but
Yeah.
it gets to be too much. Your guides are there to help. They're not there to tell you what to do. They're not there to make it all okay. They're there to help you. You
Right.
know, whether it's to comfort you during bereavement or to say, maybe you shouldn't go down that dark alleyway. What do you say we go this other way? Things like
Hmm.
that. They're always happy to be acknowledged, but they should not be part and parcel of things.
Right. And
And
I mean, let me tell you, part of the big conversations was that, oh my God, I can do this now.
yeah, yeah,
And it was consciously done. And I was not exactly obsessing over it, but I
no.
was keeping them right here or keeping her right here. And then Sabrina came in
And
an episode
you don't
later.
want to lose that communication because it is unique. Um,
Hmm. That's a word for it.
it's just that when you begin to realize that there are other realms and you only have a very short-sighted side of it, you know, um, it's a joyful thing. It is. It's new and it's exciting. It's almost like a new love affair when
Mhm.
when everything is new, you're getting to know one another. Um it's that, oh my gosh, what if they decide that this isn't for them? Ah, or maybe they leave. And there's that thought too, as in all relationships.
Mhm.
But keeping a healthy balance is saying, okay, it's almost like making a phone call. It's very similar, where you
Yeah.
speak to them and say, hey, I got this thing going on. If you have some angle on it I don't see, help me see it. Whether
Mhm.
it's a child that's not taking discipline well, or a spouse who's angry about something but won't talk about it, things like that. It's mundane things, but they're there for that too.
Yeah.
It's not
It
all
doesn't have to
not all the
be
fun and games.
right, and it doesn't have to be something groundbreaking every time.
No,
I
no,
actually got a message through someone about me properly using an exacto knife from my guide. Be careful, don't cut yourself. I'm like, well, thanks, I appreciate it.
that's helpful.
It is helpful. It's like,
Sort of pun.
well,
Oh, well, sorry, not
okay.
pun. Good night, Joe.
Oh, good night, Joe. Thanks for coming by. I know you're not
You know.
able to get on. That's okay. Have a good one, Joe. Thanks. I know you, above all of us, are keeping it quantum.
Oh yeah, for sure he is.
Oh, lunar.
That guy's got his act together. Always has. I talked.
Lunar allowed and it annoys persons. Let them be annoyed. Let them be annoyed. Like that thing says, nothing happens. They just get annoyed, like being offended. Let them be annoyed. It's okay.
Well, it's there's a proper time to do these things like everything else. You know, it's inappropriate to talk in church if somebody's got the floor and making a sermon, or doing something that's churchy.
Right.
You don't talk during that. Now if your guides can speak to you and you can speak back to them, and you do not have to speak out loud. You
Right. I
don't.
was about to say that. I've learned to talk to them and really guide my thoughts to a destination, you
Mhm.
know, not blasting it for everyone, but kind of pinpointing it over there. And whether it gets received or not is like another step that it's usually not up to me, right? And but I can form that word right where words go right before they come out, and I can keep it there, and that's my. And then I use my quantum link to put it out there, right? I don't know
Yeah.
how else to
Yeah.
put it except psychic. I don't know. I've never been tested for that. I've been tested for a whole bunch of stuff, but
Oh,
never that.
gee, you think you might be?
I'm definitely
Sorry.
empathic,
Yeah. No,
but
and
I
most of us are, but it's degrees. Um, you know, it's like going into a room, and everyone in the room feels you enter the room. Okay. Now, maybe they're expecting you, maybe they're not. I've walked into rooms where I did not expect to be recognized at all, or even thought twice about, and yet every
hmm
head turned to find out somebody's different here.
hmm
You know?
You know what? A good comparator for the Muggles are the Batman effect. You can walk into when Batman walks into a room, everybody knows it.
He has
The
presence.
Batman effect. He
He has
has
presence.
presence.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. We were late to a doing since been some time back. and we were late. We had trouble finding the place. It was dark, and street lamps were going out on our way there, which is
Hmm.
not uncommon for someone who has been taken. Now, where they will
Hmm.
affect the street lamps, and they were going out all over everything and coming back on as soon as we passed. It's very strange. But walked into this auditorium. It was loaded, and everything stopped. I mean, the speaker stopped. People looked back. It stopped, and I'm like, I don't usually command that kind of attention. And I realize that we're kind of Mutt and Jeff. I mean, I'm a little bitty thing, and Frank is quite tall, and it uh, it was sort of shocking. And then, of course, we walked in like we owned a joint because that's how I've been raised, and found our seat and sat down. Made no apologies, none of that. When something like that's going on, say nothing and sit down. It's the
Hmm.
best way to deal with it.
Yeah.
But
Just.
you know, I can't imagine how many people made a point of finding out who I was that night. It
Hmm.
was very strange. I wasn't there to speak. I wasn't there for anything other than to support another member, and I thought that was very strange that night. No, I don't believe it's well. It has happened since, but not because of anything we did. But we have presence when we walk into a room. I think that's got to be it. And
Hmm.
with guides in particular, you do not have to speak to them
Mm-mm.
out loud. They will hear you. And you can ask them for whatever favor you need at that time, or to help you see the thing that you're not seeing. But other people don't have to be part of that. Now I'm not saying you should never speak to them out loud, because I speak to mine out loud all the time.
Hmm.
But when I'm around other people, they don't quite get it. And I really don't need somebody with a taser letting me have it because I'm crazy. You know.
Right. Sometimes I have been communicating and it's all mental, but then sometimes I'll blurt out, "Not right now," or something like that, and people are looking at me like, "What? This guy? What? Oops. Sorry, don't mind me." You know, I'm just talking to myself.
Just walking down the street, minding my own business, and that's a jackass. You know. And then bam, everybody looking at him. Whoa, sister Jack, drink today. You know.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Lunar. Lunar saying she had a good time tonight. This night is so
Glad to
fun.
hear it. I'm very glad to hear it.
I started out pretty enthusiastically with the Mercury stuff and showing the parts and the pieces and the theories and the pictures and
I
stuff.
watched. I did see that. I didn't turn. I didn't. I turned off the volume, but I saw what you were showing, and I realized what it was.
Hmm. And I'm going to find out what I find out because I want a speeder bike. They did it 4,000 years ago. They made houses fly. I don't want a house. I don't want that gazebo on chicken legs. I just
Houses,
want a speeder bike.
mountains,
Hmm?
mountains,
They did
mountains.
all of
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And
If
I
they
want
could
a
do it
speeder bike.
then, the technology is still there for the person who knows what they're looking at.
Vimana just suspend these scientists. they refer to so many different things, but they don't do the hands-on. And that's great for some things, but when you're wanting to achieve something, you don't I don't really want to give myself a stumbling block because of something somebody said. I never met, I never did the experiment. I didn't the conditions are different for me than it is for them. Like I'm not working in a certain environment as they are. That
Well, and
affects.
it would
Hmm,
pay to know some of the safety advice they have on it. They do
to
know
say
that.
that's why I bought
Yeah.
that's why I bought this respirator. That's why I
Mhm.
bought a respirator mask. Okay, and I'm not going to be in. It's not going to be in my face like that. So I
No.
don't need goggles, and I don't need a
No, you just need to make sure that it doesn't splash back at you. Because if it
right.
gets on
And
one of your membranes, you are toast.
yep, pour slowly, be easy on it, and that's why I got jars with lids. So they're hermetically sealable jars, right?
Mhm.
And they go down tight. Thick liquid ain't making it through there.
No.
Thick liquid won't make it through there.
As long as they're not aluminum.
No, these are stainless brushed steel, magnetic and everything. And I made sure to not get aluminum. Aluminum is a no go when dealing with this stuff. And if I find
What
I
about
will be
glass?
glass is okay.
Yeah.
Glass is
Lunar
okay.
Sparkles is saying what about mason jars?
Mason jars are okay as long as they have steel or brass lids, not
Yeah.
not aluminum lids.
I would think they would be somewhat hazardous simply because you can break one.
That's why I'm not going with glass. I'd rather go with cut stone. If I have to upscale, I will go to someone who works stone and I'll say, I need this particular design, please.
Right.
And
You
when
know,
you're
it
talking about
makes me wonder if granite wasn't part of that equation. I
granite
don't know. It just
was,
came to me.
yeah, it was part of it. That's why they have granite in the pyramids and granite case stones and things like that. I
Oh,
don't know what they were doing with
that
them.
just
No
came
one
out of
does.
nowhere in my head.
Yet
What about
granite,
granite?
granite is a very good one. I'm going to try to stick with sandstone because of the semiconductor properties it has.
Right. A
But
little
if
lighter also.
yeah, and if granite is what it calls for, I will go with granite. It's going to cost a fortune, but I'll do it.
Right. But you know what? Maybe you can go to a counter place construction, home construction, see if you can score some of their scrap.
Yeah, but I'm no good with shaping stone. Out of my wheelhouse nowadays. I'm arts and crafts and sewing and herbs and chemical. Not so good with the stone thing. Other people are, and I will gladly bring them in on the project if they want to be. But I doubt they will want to be. But who knows? I don't know. It's quantum. I never know what's going to happen. And Lunar is saying she's going to take a walk through the woods. If it's dark where you are, take a flashlight and preferably a dog. But be
Wouldn't
careful.
hurt.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh yeah. Make sure your
But
phone's with you.
yeah, um, I am no alchemy king. Not at all. Not at all. I get on a kick.
Well,
But
alchemy's not my strong suit either. Although
mm-mm.
I seem to intuitively know what's going to work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
where that comes from,
I
I don't know.
hello, Derek.
Hey, good
Welcome
Derek.
back to the
Glad to
Quantum
see you.
Show. I saw you earlier today, I believe.
Yeah, it's his twins had. Well, he calls them Irish twins because they are they're born in the same year. The son and daughter close together there.
Okay.
Absolutely proud pieces of those babies. Don't blame him.
Okay. I don't know the topic, but that's okay. Congratulations. I'm glad the presents worked
It's
out
their birthday.
nicely.
It's enjoying
Oh,
one
her
of their
birthday?
birthdays. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, looks like a show let out. We got Vitska coming in too. Hey there, Vitska.
Hey, Visca.
Yeah, Sapphire, I have seen your armor. It's quite impressive. I need to get on the show in armor one day. I've got some armor that I put together. I got a stormtrooper set.
Oh, yeah. All
It's cool.
right. That sounds great. I think Shadow had a telephone call or something that took him away.
Yeah. Well,
But
y'all, and Lynn, it has been over 2 hours. It has been a great show. Shadow's busy. Raven is still flying. See what I did there? See what I did there?
and pink waving. Okay, I
Yeah.
got big hand. Hi.
And I think it's a good point to go ahead and call it on a high note
Yeah,
because
it's been good.
it's been a great show. I
Covered
got to
quite a bit.
cover all the topics that I wanted to cover. We talked about my Mercury project and the hardware that I'm using. We talked
Uh-huh.
about spirit guides, keeping calm with them and not being obsessed either one way or another.
No,
Talked
it's
about
really
the
not needed.
ufology. Yeah, talked about
Yeah,
the
caving,
control. Hmm.
splunking.
Yeah, we talked about the caves, all kinds of caves, and I do want to know some of the local history of Las Cruces, the weird local history. I will do something for
Oh
Nashville.
wow,
Nashville's easy.
there's quite a bit of that. There's
Okay,
there's a little bit. Yeah, some of it's
60 to
the
100
haunted
years
stuff.
that has been forgotten
Yeah,
because there are towns that have been wiped out. That's not a legend.
no,
Towns wiped out that
yeah.
are totally
Flooding and
forgotten.
yeah, they're gone.
I'll do
Yeah,
Tennessee,
even
Nashville,
recently.
and I hope Shadow does where he's from because I'd like to know the little bit, just a little side project, a little interesting little
Something
thought.
fun.
Yeah, something fun.
Yeah, I like
And
haunted stuff. I do. There's a number of old saloons here that are
mm,
haunted,
oh
and
man,
I've
there are
seen
so
that, and
many.
I've seen phenomena in them.
Yeah, when I was in El Paso, they were literally right there, and I had
Yeah,
no idea.
you
Ugh,
know, if you don't know, you don't know. But
yeah.
yeah, even in your own hometowns, something interesting. The biker nun from hell or whatever is out there. You
Hmm.
know, but just something interesting from your place. Let's get to
Hmm.
know each other a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something totally world shaking,
No,
just something that happened in the area that has been forgotten, you know?
no,
Um,
the murders and hauntings are still going on from those. The
hmm.
old west was
Same
the
here.
wild west was very real here.
Yeah. Cemetery. I got stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
This place always has noises and little things out of the corner of your eye all the time. Xena has helped me keep it down, right? But it's there. And I did my acknowledgments and it's there. And
Well, a lot of times just they're acknowledging that they are there calms a lot of the of a lot of phenomena down.
hmm.
It just
Hmm.
does that.
Yeah, I
You
actually
know.
started talking to the person I think is here, and I'm pretty sure he's here, and it
Hmm.
calmed down.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
my
verbally
knowledge.
talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ghosts have
and
a reason for still hanging on, whatever that reason is.
yeah. Sapphire, I will put the link out here. That's okay, Derek. I will put the link out here for you. And this is for Sapphire because I'm about to close the show. It's been a great show. This was a great one. I
Sorry
loved
about
it.
that, guys.
Hey,
I had
that's
to take
okay.
a
Things
call.
happen. Priorities, man. It's all good. I get
Yeah.
it. But we're about to take it backstage, and I'm putting the link in for Sapphire because he's got questions for Lynn on cooking. I hope food and
Well, so
Right, right.
I'm really no good at some of the other cuisines.
so. But everybody, thanks for coming to the Quantum Show tonight. If you're here, you're quantum. Proxy quantum is still quantum. And thanks for coming by. It's been great.
Absolutely.
The best show since the last show.
Right.
So this is for Sapphire. Grab it up because I'm about to hit the red button. And I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good week. If something comes up, I will be reporting in a short. So far, nothing.
Good night, all.
Have
Good
a
night.
great week, everybody.
Pushing buttons.